All right. I'm curious. Okay, so we do have people here in the room. Vlad. So people are here and no one here, and the hosts are not
No, no,
here.
I started exactly at 6 p.m., but there are quite a few technical issues, unexpected ones. So with our speakers from Dubai, for some reason, maybe it's a new thing. Maybe they started blocking Demio
Well,
somehow.
but we are, well, I
Yeah,
actually
we
have,
are on the paid account. I don't know. They are our host. I'm not sure.
no,
Anyway,
no, no, they cannot be because they are presenters like we are, cannot be. And
okay,
by the way, I
maybe
also,
you know what is the issue then. But Claudio is having the same. Everyone, Claudio, Sumit, and Asif having that issue.
ooh,
But we have
and Asaf as well.
sorry, not Asif. Asif is not based. Sumit and Gilbert.
Oh, okay, wow. But
But
by the
anyway,
way, I bet it will
I
be,
we found the solution. So we will they will be talking through Zoom, and I'll be kind of sharing their screen. So don't worry, it's all good. So you can start with your part, and
wow.
yeah, I'll
How
run
are you
some.
gonna do that? That's wow. Well done. That's a very, very interesting
Hopefully
solution.
it will work, but it worked just now, just before we started. So
Oh,
let's see.
okay, cool. Well, hi everyone. No, it should be okay. I think people started leaving thinking now presenters are not here. No, 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 don't worry. Well, good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. I am greeting you. Thank you very much for joining us for this session. Today we decided to do something slightly different. Normally we talk about a lot of trends and cutting edge ideas. Well, you know that we tend to do be more on the practical side, right? So today we're going to talk about practical solutions and innovations in green energy and hydrogen production. So it's all about how to help you improve your project RRR, bottom line, and efficiency, right? So while people are gathering, and I see we have quite a large audience today, which is good. But I know that we have more registrations. As always, people from different time zones requesting replays. So we are recording this session. Will we be able to record this session, lad?
We are recording it, so
Okay, good.
I just switched off my video for a second because I was
Talking to
launching
some,
Zoom and getting Sumit
getting
ready.
everyone ready. Okay, excellent.
Sumit is ready, so it's gonna work.
Great. Okay, so Sumit is on stage already.
No, Gilbert for some reason coming up, but
Hello, my
we'll
friends.
have to be.
Hi,
We'll
how
have.
are you? Can you hear me? I just switched off a
Hi,
video
Gilbert.
just
We
to
can
see
hear
because
you, but
I saw that it was having some.
Gilbert.
yeah, it's okay. Well, let's. I think Sumit gonna go first, but let's see if it works for you through
Okay.
Demio.
So is
Hello,
it
can
okay?
you
Let
hear? Can
test.
you see me
Okay.
now?
Yes, we
Okay,
can.
Yes.
great.
Okay. That's fine. So that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
If system works,
we'll
we
leave
will
you.
invite you to stage
Yeah, okay. We'll
later.
invite you on stage after Sumit. Okay.
Excellent. But I think he okay. Excellent. That's good. So very, very quickly, because I can see that we have quite a lot of new people as well registering, and like it's already kind of. Um, ritual, we have to we quickly introduce ourselves. I know that many of you already know us, and that's for this reason I'm going to be very brief. So we are QPQ International, a digital platform created in support of green energy project developers. We support developers in renewable energy, waste to energy, hydrogen production, and energy storage worldwide. We host this webinar series. Well, we basically our focus is to attract world-class partners and funders and secure and accelerate financing and development of green energy projects. So we host this series as part of our Funding Accelerator program. And the Funding Accelerator is basically focused on helping project developers to identify investor readiness gaps and address them, prepare for due diligence, and then basically secure funders and partners for them. And Yes, so this is the part of the program. And if you are a developer and you have green energy project, you please send it to us, or you can send it through our the program page. Vlad will share with you the link of the, so you can read up a little bit more about the program, and you can submit your project through submission form there, or you can send it directly to us. Yes. So I will be brief. We already got we're already down 6 minutes, and it seems like people, most people are here, So today we have three, as I said earlier, we have three very interesting solution providers, and we're very much focused on the practical, as I said, practical side of helping you improve project profitability. So first, we will have Sumit Agrawal, who is Operations Director and Business Development Director of GE3S. This is a one-stop shop for credit offset and carbon management. Sumit has a long, over 20 years experience in green energy. He is PMP and FMVA certified professional, very, very passionate about sustainability, ESG reporting, carbon market, and green energy in general. So Sumit will talk about how carbon offset changing sustainability dynamics. He will explain and talk in more details about what are carbon credits and how they can actually help you improve your project profitability. And from that, I think Sumit will tell a little bit more, right, about himself, and as well as he will kind of delve into his presentation, right? So thank you very much for joining us once again. We will invite Sumit through Zoom. Vlad will
before I do that, a couple of small announcements. First of all, Amira from the back, she's part of our team. She will upload handouts on the right-hand side where you see chat, polls, and handouts. You'll be able to download the presentations of all speakers. If you have questions, you can post them in chat, and we'll try to address them. We'll try to give at least 4 or 5 minutes after each presentation for Q&A sessions. If you're interested in any of the solutions mentioned today, please reach out to us, and we will be happy to connect you with Sumit, Asif, or Gilbert, and support you with implementing those solutions in your projects and basically making them more attractive, more profitable, increasing your IRRs, and basically improving it as much as we can. All right, so you can see already first handout uploaded. Now I'll start sharing my screen, so you will see Sumit here and his presentation. Sumit, can you please enable me to share the screen?
1 second.
Okay.
Anna, can you hear him?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Just give me a minute.
All right, very good.
Very good. Okay.
I will make you.
What a magic! I don't know how did you do it in a short notice. It's good that we have this.
Yeah, last moment. Okay.
So Veled, I'm already sharing my screen. Can you share your screen?
I'm trying to share my screen, but it says host disabled participant screen sharing. So you need to go.
No. So basically, you need not to share on the Zoom.
You're right. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good point.
Yes.
Okay. I need to share it through Demio.
Okay. So I will. You go through Demio, and I'm hopping off. Have a great, enjoy it, right?
Before you hop off, just tell me if you're seeing everything, because I'll be sharing this. That's what I'm doing.
Yes, perfect. Yes, very well. Oh my gosh, and I can see Sumit as well. Well done. Yeah. Okay, okay, guys, that's what I call.
Sumit, stage is yours.
Okay, bye.
So thanks a lot, guys, and just quickly. So Vlad and I were working on the backgrounds. There were some technical glitches, and we kind of found an intermittent fix. And overall, thanks a lot to PQ team, Claudio, Pascana, and Vlad. And I think they are bringing a lot of experience, and their platform is amazing. So here we will be focusing on carbon credits and how they can help overall the complete renewable energy projects and this ecosystem. G3S today has more than 14 years of experience into the domain of sustainability. And I'll be quickly talking about G3S and then talking about the carbon. So today we will be understanding that how you can improve the financial viability of carbon credits, which are enabled through various climate summits and COP26, COP27. So you'll be understanding that ecosystem. And then definitely for your projects, you will require these things. And that's where G3S comes into the picture, and you can always reach out to the QPQ and we'll provide you these solutions. So quickly speaking, so G3S today is serving sustainability in the space of green building, environment, renewable energy, waste management, lead in the green building certification, trainings, carbon management service. So there's an array of the services we are providing. Carbon management services is a part of our complete package that we provide for different customers. So briefly speaking, in environmental, we are doing ESIA, environmental audits, air quality audits. In green building today, we are certifying buildings as per the LEED well. And there are a few well-known references. I mean, to talk about it, people like Majid Al Futtaim, Lulu, NEOM, Abu Dhabi Airport, Abu Dhabi Ports. We have some good clients. Then in the waste management system, the solid waste management and the complete waste management facility design, permitting and all those parts we do. Then coming into the corporate sustainability, here we are doing the complete ESG reporting, carbon footprinting, GHG emissions, EHS compliance, energy, water and the wastewater program management, and project management consultancy. These are the few other aspects where we are serving this market. So now coming to our core topic, that is the carbon advisory. So we are your carbon advisor. So in this carbon advisory, we will help you in the understanding what should be your strategy and what kind of the pricing you can take in your business model itself to ensure better funding and the better project viabilities, and where you should register in which kind of the international mechanism like IREC, VERA, or EU ETS. So we will be doing that. Then the regulatory and the technology space, like for example, what kind of the regulatory challenges are there, we will manage that, and as well as the technological challenges. Coming next to the monitoring and the verification of the project. So usually speaking, this is a 1 year after the project is registered for a good size project. For a smaller size project, this period could be 2 years. So we'll be also doing that. And then further buying, selling, and retiring for you. So you need not to worry about anything about your carbon portfolio. We will manage it at a fees, and you guys, and we will get you the best prices, and you guys have that decision making to make those sale transactions. And that's where we come into the picture, as well as in case if you require carbon credits to make yourself net zero or any kind of those facilities, we can do that as well, because we are into this domain. Like today, we are managing large project in UAE itself and as well as India. So quickly, what is carbon credits? So carbon credits, so like basically, to give you a brief phenomena, what happened was worldwide, there was a lot of carbon emission that was happening. So people discussed that, okay, let's devise a mechanism in which we can incentivize the carbon reduction. Businesses cannot be stopped. So what they did was they said that 1 metric ton of the carbon emission, if you abate 1 metric ton of the carbon emission, that will be equivalent to 1 carbon credit. So let's say if you are producing electricity through renewables, if you compare it with the coal, and then there will be certain number of the units, let's say 2 megawatt hours, that will be equivalent to let's say 1 metric ton of the carbon. So this, once you are doing such renewable activities, waste management activities, plastic activities, wind activities, we'll be speaking about those slightly, you can claim these carbon credits, okay? Now, trading of these carbon credits are like shares, tradable instruments, which can be traded through various over-the-counter exchanges. Then there are various international exchanges coming in place in Abu Dhabi as well. We have here Carbon Exchange. Then we have EU ETS system. You have NASDAQ, which is ECX. So there are various exchanges, and then there are various over-the-counter transactions that are happening in these carbon markets. Broadly speaking, these carbon markets can be categorized into 2 categories: voluntary and the mandatory. The voluntary markets are lesser in the pricing, is less number of the credits in that market, but that market is growing. Here, various organizations who wants to claim themselves net zero, they are coming into this segment and they are buying credits and they are claiming themselves net zero. So to give you a small example, Amazon declared that by 2030, they will be carbon neutral. Now, how they will be carbon neutral once they are into a business of logistics, which requires large amount of carbon emission. So basically, they will buy these carbon credits from the open markets, and then they will offset their emissions that are happening in their supply chain, and then they will claim they are carbon neutral. So these are voluntary markets. Then there are some mandatory markets. So governments across the world, they are mandating that that businesses need to follow certain policies and that are must to abide by the carbon regulation. So here I can give you example, like for example, if you are into shipping sector, you must be seeing an increasing pressure from an international maritime organization that they need to follow some regulations. If you are into financial sector, UNDP is putting pressure that all the financial institutions do not fund coal or your diesel generated project, but most into renewable energy projects. And they are asking for the project sustainability report of these projects. So this is how the mandatory ecosystem is working. And the secondary ecosystem is a voluntary ecosystem. So quickly speaking, I'll be giving you a brief overview of this carbon management ecosystem. And all these names you will hear at various places. And I will try my best to give you a small summary of it. So I will start with the bottom right on the screen that you can see scope 1, 2, 3 emissions. So it starts with defining the scope 1, 2, 3 emissions of the business that we can do. Now coming in the scope 1, 2, 3 emissions, there is a reduction that happens. So when you are looking into becoming carbon neutral, terminologies like carbon neutral, net zero, climate positive, overall, or at times also carbon negative, they overall mean similar things with slight variations. I will not get into that in specific. So to make an organization carbon neutral, usually speaking, it talks about defining, measuring, and reducing emissions. Then carbon offsetting, which is about trading of these carbon credits. And then there are also carbon sink projects that you can take. So in this carbon offsetting domain, you can see organizations like CDM, Vera, Gold Standard, GCC, IREC. All these are different international organizations which are enabling these credits across this ecosystem, where you can register your projects and later on you can sell these projects. We will do this complete process for you. Similarly, these can be your renewable energy projects. They can be your carbon sink project. For example, we are also helping companies in the mangroves projects as well, where they will grow these mangroves and we will help them claim these carbon credits. And further, like for example, any kind of the green bonds, any kind of the project sustainability reports, all those things we can do. So this is the carbon management advisory ecosystem. What kind of the advisory services we can provide you? So from country level strategy to company level strategy to strategy related to your carbon portfolio management, right? Market value of your carbon asset, when you should sell, what is the expectation on the pricing, all those things we do. So these are some business FAQs, which I think many of you will have in your mind. So I have kind of listed down in a very summarized manner. So here you can see the pricing. So as I told you that carbon markets are new. They are, and this particular data I've taken from Statista, so you can find it online. And so these carbon markets are fairly new. And that's where the expectation and the overall carbon pricing is varying. But these are the prices. So you can see in Middle East and all, currently, let's say it is around $6. Then if you talk about European countries, it is around $30, $40. In UK and countries like Switzerland, it has gone up to $90. In US, it is getting traded at around $90. Australia, it is around 30 to 40 Australian dollars. So these are basically the prices of these carbon credits. So depending on where your project is, definitely you will get a remuneration according to that for your carbon credits. Apart from carbon credits, one thing that you must be hearing a lot is IREC, your renewable energy certificate. So basically 1 unit of electricity means 1 IREC, okay? So these are the two things. Then domestically, Every country has their own mechanism. So depending on where your project is, what is the local pricing and the policies, we will kind of advise you that whether you register your project domestically or internationally. Technologically, we are technology agnostic. So whether it is a renewable project, an energy efficiency project, a biomethane project, a hydrogen project, a hydro project, nuclear project, waste to energy, mangrove or plastic, I mean, whatever it is, we can help you register till it is abating carbon. Like even if you are putting some technology which can reduce, let's say, fuel consumption, that ultimately is also doing the carbon abatement. And we can register those technologies as well, given that they need to be in the scale. So in terms of the project selection, I have quickly put across that there needs to be a minimum criteria. Project should break even. I mean, the cost of the consultancy and the overall effort required should at least break even. And that's where the minimum criteria would be there, which we will tell you. But I think anything above 5 megawatt size in the renewable project kind of qualifies. So most of these projects will qualify. Then location can be anywhere in the world. It could be any technology, and any number of the credits are okay because this market is growing, and we believe that we are very rightly placed given COP28 will be in UAE, so we can even get a better pricing. Services we can help. So your complete project registration, your seller side support, your buyer side support. So in this domain, we can help you with everything. Quickly, this is the process. So anyone wants to get into the details of it, you can see that there needs to be a project design document. Then there's a national authority approval that is required. Then there's a validation process from a third party that happens. Then there's a registration process that happens. Then monitoring and the verification for 1 year happens. And then these credits are issued. So we will be taking care of the complete process from start to end with your no interference at all is needed. We will just need the initial project design documents and the simple monitoring, the verification process, which are normally placed in the project. For example, what kind of the meters you have or what kind of the metering mechanisms. These are the carbon standards for your reference worldwide. So depending on in which country you are, we will be registering into different of these mechanisms. So that's it from my side, guys. I think I wanted to keep it fresh. So any questions are welcome, and I will open, I think, this slide, which kind of gives a summary of it.
Mm-hmm.
But we are your one-stop shop, so
yeah, perfect. That's what I wanted to say, Sumit. Exactly. You know that this you know, a one-stop shop actually summarizes what you do, and we came across a lot of service providers that do bits and pieces, you know, and then you still have to kind of integrate it all together, and it's not easy if you don't if developers are new to this system. But considering that you're taking care of the whole from the beginning to the end, I think it's a great value proposition.
That's right. Well, Sumit, thank you very much for your presentation. You've done really well, right on time. You haven't gone over time. We're quite mindful of the time, given that we have 3 presenters in only 1 hour. So yes, that's right. Just to support what Vlad is saying, is that we have spoken. I've spoken to probably dozens and dozens of carbon offset service providers, right? And the challenge is that most of them just do one part, but not another. And then the developer has to go and work out the another, you know, missing parts and pieces. So, and then it becomes all too hard, right? So we kind of like the fact that you're quite experienced in this, and you've done quite a lot in, and you can support our project developers with the whole process. So great. So now we have a couple of questions.
So now, yeah. So let me kind of go through. Do you want to do it?
No, you go. Yeah, you go.
I also got it because I cannot I cannot move from my screen so everyone sees the slide, but I have it on my phone also open, the questions that came from our audience. First one is, how about projects in Africa? Can you kind of also help? Is it all Africa or only countries that kind of have the legislation around carbon credits? How does it work?
So I think this is a very good question. So guys, first of all, let me tell you, the scheme like carbon credit is made for countries like Africa and other Annex 1 countries where the investment into these projects is low. Okay.
Mhm.
So just wait a second. So yes, we can register all the project in Africa. As
Mhm.
I told you, there are various local regulations which are domestic in nature, and then there are various international regulations. So we will register the projects of Africa into international regulations like VER, CDM, and IREC, and we will also help you trade these credits. So yes, Africa is very much a yes, and we can register these projects.
Perfect. Okay. Well, we also was talking to one of our deal advisors from Chile, and he said that price of carbon credits in Chile is zero. So how do you go around that? So basically, carbon credits that are generated in Chile being sold to international markets.
Yes. So as of now, number one, that scenario is changing very fast, and I'm not sure that how updated that is. And I'm talking about even in the months. So this carbon credit market is getting start revived very fast. Like before COP26, there was very less activism in this market. That is last December, and today, this December, we are talking about this carbon credit market already in the billions. So, I showed you in the slides about the renewables market. So yes, overall, we do see a huge potential, and even if the Chile's carbon credits are there with you guys, do connect us. We will
Mhm.
help you sell these credits. The price could be slightly lesser, but yes, internationally we can sell those credits. Not at all a problem.
Perfect. And before we let you go, just one more question from the audience: if we can basically register carbon credits for solar projects which are already operational.
Yes.
Mhm.
So operational project, you can register for carbon credits or IREC. There are certain regulations which keeps on changing from these different players, but that is our aspect to look into. So once you register, once you come us with a project which is there, we will advise you that where you need to register it, how you need to register it. We will do the registration for you. We will talk about also generating these carbon credits. And once these carbon credits are with you, we'll also help you sell it. So yes, the operational projects as well, you can register. Which mechanism that changes depending on where your project is, when it was commissioned, but any and each project can be registered.
Understood. Well, thank you very much, Sumit. It was great to have you with us today. Any inquiries that will come, obviously to us, will get you connected with the developers. And so, as I announced in the beginning, if anyone wants to connect with Sumit, please reach out to us.
Yeah, we
So
received
if
quite
you
a
want,
number
I'll
of quite
give you-
interesting, good questions. So what we will do, I can see Ravi, Eric. So what we will do, unfortunately, we are mindful of time. So what we will do is that we will save those questions, and we will, we'll share with you. Yes, we'll share with you so you can perhaps respond to them offline.
Yeah, I think that would be a better approach. But let me just give you a brief. Carbon credit has been started to enable the project viability so that your project becomes more viable.
Mhm.
It's something which is promoted by United Nations and countries like Europe and USA. And this is something that you can read about it online.
Mhm.
It is a very fair mechanism. So please send me your questions. I will reply to them. But trust us, it is not a false scheme, and it will help your projects.
Perfect.
And Morocco, yes, we can do that.
Okay, Turkey, Morocco, we have quite a lot. So wonderful. Well,
Sure. Sumit, what do you want me to do? How do you want to do it? Do you want me to kind of keep the Zoom running? But it says that only 5 minutes left, so you can also enjoy the rest of the session, or you will try to connect as an
yeah,
attendee
let's let him connect as attendee.
I will revalidate it.
Okay.
Because I want to hear the presentation and
Fantastic.
I'll be on.
Sure. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Let's be moving. We've got so now.
So Gilbert, let's invite. Okay. While you're doing the introduction, I'll invite.
Just
Gilbert.
one thing.
Yep.
One last thing. In case this link is invalid, you can join back on the same link.
Okay. Sure.
Wonderful.
All right.
So now
Thank you.
it is my pleasure to invite Gilbert Valero to stage. Gilbert has over 15 years solid experience with Aqua Group, with EDF, with Sky Power, mainly as a tech lead expert and O&M. So right now he is the CTO and CEO of BI Analytics. Okay, here he is. Definitely an expert who created incredible solution. We're very excited about what you created. So Gilbert, so basically in the nutshell is how to improve your project bottom line by utilizing advanced analytics and enabled with artificial intelligence, how to improve your equipment utilization, decrease downtime. So Gilbert will kind of go in more details. Yes, Gilbert. Thank you for joining.
Hello, hi, how are you? Thank you for the introduction. So, are you guys gonna share my screen or should I share it?
You should be able to share it given that you're in DMO.
Yeah, okay. So, okay, let me.
There might be a little bit of a delay because we also had to come up with a kind of another sophisticated solution for Gilbert.
I hope we will be able to continue DMO here in UAE.
Of course, we will. But I'm saying there might be a little bit of lag between voice and the presentation. That's all.
Okay.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, but we can.
can.
Okay, now we see your presentation as well. Wonderful.
Okay,
Roland?
great.
I'll stay on stage, so in case so if I can address any questions or if you have any technical issues,
I'll
then
go-
we can immediately.
I'll go off stage.
Basically, we provide the smart solutions for smart energy and who we are. So we are a very agile and dynamic company integrated by a selected blend of professionals, from different backgrounds and experiences. So, and we decided to create something that is done for all type of customers, from developers all the way to a simple field technician. So everybody can use the tool, and from any country, any continent, any place, because it's a cloud-based solution. So far, our algorithms has discovered more than $25 million in potential savings in a year and a half. Okay, so basically we have 4 products already developed. One is for solar PV, one for wind, forecasting and transformers. So in case of solar and wind, we do performance monitoring and early failure detections. We also go into work order creations and so we integrate all type of data, not only from SCADA. We integrate the field data, we integrate instrumentation data, measurement data from the technicians, everything. Also, we have for both wind and solar, we have a weather forecast, which allow us to see with a very, very high accuracy, 2 to 3 days in advance and intra hours. So, and we also have an application for transformers, because as part of the wind and solar, we started adding a specific application for to go deeper on certain critical hardware. In this case, we started by transformers, so we are working on other hardwares also. So let's explain what the solar app has. So the solar app is able to, you can see their waterfall analysis, because it's very important to know where the problems are, and to know that you need to know where the losses are going. So sometimes when you do, for example, a PVC's analysis, you take some assumptions, and then those assumptions are not even close to the reality. So we bring reality to projects in terms of problem finding and also early fault detections. So we visualize a lot of KPIs. We cover all type of hardware, from string trackers, inverters, and all that. And then we also have an application for managing the cleaning of the PV panels, especially very, very, very neat. Is very welcome in these desertic regions where you have a lot of soiling causing a lot of performance issues. So we have also a wind application where we have advanced power cube analysis, so that you can analyze different scenarios, comparing two turbines, comparing the same turbine different times, different turbines different times. So you can, it's quite dynamic what you can do. We also have wind sector management. We have dashboards. We design the dashboard as per the customer needs. So we don't have just a dashboard. We go and design the dashboard per project and per portfolio based on the customer need. So basically, we can in 2 clicks get to know what 90% of the applications out there in the market they have. So because we want to do it user friendly, but at the same time we bring complexity. So we make the complexity of the renewables accessible to everybody. So this can be really needed where you have a lack of engineering resources, lack of qualified personnel. So we bring and we transfer a lot of knowledge in this regard to remote projects anywhere in the world. So, for example, we are able to do quite advanced tools for identifications that basically are able to disengage the vibrations coming from, for example, in this case, vibration analysis, coming from the wind or turbulence, and the ones caused by a default, for example, on a bearing or a gearbox. So we have, for example, spectrograms, cartograms on, cyclic coherence analysis. I mean, cyclostationarity. Those look like science fiction, but we are able to make it easier for the user. So I haven't seen so far a tool with these features out there in the market. So we also have a forecast. When we talk about forecast, yes, there is a lot of people providing forecast, but we provide a numerical dedicated forecast, very accurate. We downscale a lot. We can go up to half a kilometer resolution. So and get very accurate in terms of the prediction. So, for example, you can see here large eddy simulations. We can simulate very well the wind, the interaction of the wind, taking into account the turbines and all this. So we also do data simulation, and all these features that I've been talking about on these 3 products are combined with artificial intelligence. So other platforms, they only use artificial intelligence. Other platforms use standard methods. So we combine both, because I believe both one or the one alone, it doesn't add the right value. So you have to combine them both in order to get the very accurate and eliminate false positives that are quite undesirable in these solutions. So we have also an application for transforming, as I said before. So we have we have the ability to quickly see the status of the fleet in 1 click, and then we have advanced dissolved gas analysis methods accessible to everyone, and in a very user-friendly and dynamic interface. So you can basically, analyze 3 or 4 methods at once, and then pinpoint this. So pinpoint any failure. Also, we can, this application have more than 20 features. So behind each application, each product, we have several experts. It's not only software people. So for example, I've been in the renewable energies for more than 16 years with the boots on the ground, looking at problems. So you will have basically an expert 24/7, a click away from the solution, right? So so here are some success stories. So for example, we were able to find 6% degradation in 1 gig project. I mean, several projects totalizing 1 gigawatt. So we were able to find more failures than a drone. For example, by a drone found two drone companies flew in a project, and among them they found 65 panels broken. We were able to find 325 panels. So in that with the same failure mode. So, and we are also very good at minimizing the manpower. So this tool is designed to make the life easier and to define it defines a more efficient way of doing things that it hasn't been exploited before. By instead of you checking the whole plan, the tool tells you where you have to go. So, and that's a big time saver for any operator. Also, it can be useful for people that owns projects and they don't have a technical arm. So we can provide visibility, for example, on the operator performance, on the owners with 2-3 key people that basically, are focused. They can focus then on the financials. They can focus on developing new projects instead of chase the operator. So in terms of power transformers, so we were able to, with our algorithms, a client was able to replace 80 transformers of 2.7 MVA each. It was a big plan, and we uncovered a serial defect, and the total value of the claim was $7.5 million. So in terms of the wind energy, we have we run a POC in a 120 megawatt wind farm, and in only 6 months we were able to save the customer, $325,000 US, as a result of wrong calibration of blades, miscalibration, malfunction of wind sensors, misalignment of wind sensors, pitch hydraulic malfunctions. So we have been able also to identify bearing failures, but well, I don't want to. They haven't put a number yet because it's an ongoing case that we help the customer to build.
Gilbert, I'm here on stage just to remind you of the time. Yes. So
yeah. So now we are coming to an
end, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So other applications we have under development is CSP, industrial and running management. So, and these are basically capabilities we have. We not only cover renewables, we cover all type of industry because our expert comes from different industries, and these are, in a summary, the experience we have within the team. So 30 plus years of vibration analysis, 25 years of cement plants. So because my team comes from different backgrounds, this give me the tool, a good set of experience so that we can use in those renewables.
Well, wonderful. Well, Gilbert, thank you very much. We're just kind of running out of time when we have one more presenter. I really appreciate you joining us here. Thank you for your presentation. I just want to kind of share with the audience that we don't, we are focusing on project finance, and not often that we are actually accepting or working or representing ventures. But B Analytics is one of the few ventures, and the next one also we're actually also representing for fundraising. So if we have investors in the audience, and if you like what you heard about B Analytics, I think it's a fantastic solution that adds real value. Now they're scaling, so hence the fundraising. Do reach out to us and let us know as well as if you think that B Analytics can help you improve the bottom line of your project. Thank you, Gilbert, very much.
Yeah, well, I don't know if the people was able to see the presentation,
yes, they were,
so I don't know if you can share
yes,
with the...
Yes, we will. We always do.
Exactly. So the presentation is available in the handout section. We have several questions that have been sent to us previously, and also whatever questions will come, we'll address to you, Gilbert, and then get the answers over to the to our audience.
Okay. With you, and you can share and you can respond
otherwise,
to that.
We'll run out of time.
Okay, so now I would like to invite on stage Asif Ansari, if we can bring Asif, and perhaps Gilbert, you probably will need to go off
Thank you.
stage.
You can stop sharing the
Stop
screen.
sharing
And
the
Yeah,
screen
okay.
and go off
So,
stage.
thank you very much, Gilbert.
yeah, okay, thanks.
Thank you. So now I would like to introduce Asif Ansari, who is the CTO of Aymana. Asif has like over 20 years of experience in bringing breakthrough innovations to market and commercializing some fascinating technology. Is very passionate about sustainability, of course, as all of our community. Asif, I will not be taking very long for the introduction, given that of time constraint, right? People could read your bio on our website as well. I presume you will also kind of cover it. But Asif will talk about kind of new generation electrolyzers, right? It's basically membrane-free electrolyzer technologies, which enables you to reduce production of hydrogen. Cost. Reduce cost of hydrogen production. So
We need more hydrogen.
Yes, exactly. Well, thank you very much for joining us. I'm very excited to have you. The stage is to you.
I'm very glad that everything works for you, Asif, because we also had some technical issues last night, but thanks to your partner, David, it's been resolved. So yeah, me and Oksana will come off the stage, but if you need anything, we'll be able to hear you, okay?
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Oksana and Vlad. I will now try to figure out how to make this thing bigger, but let's see. Yeah.
So basically, you need to go to your presentation now.
Okay.
Find the presentation, and then you will. Don't try because now we're seeing your full
Yeah,
screen.
I know you're seeing my face, and I'm going to, let's see. Okay, very good. We're here.
We end up by, okay, now we're seeing the screen. Perfect.
Yeah.
You can go into presenters mode so it goes full screen.
Yeah, okay.
I think should be somewhere at the bottom if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere here. One of those should be a presenters. Yeah.
Yeah,
here.
okay, very good. Okay, sorry
Perfect.
about
We
that.
can see it perfectly fine now.
Well, good morning, good evening, folks. Thanks for arranging this, Oksana and Vlad, and I'm happy to talk about something much more mundane compared to what the earlier presenters talked about. But this is sort of nuts and bolts and soup to nut type solutions for hydrogen, the value chain. Green hydrogen is especially our focus. The hydrogen economy is, quite hyped, and, there's exciting things, what it can do for decarbonization and climate change. So that's really a driver that's been kind of fueling this space, and there's a lot of excitement and a lot of hype about it as well. There's barriers and challenges that people don't talk about that need to be addressed. And cost and availability of credible, economical, practical solutions is still quite short, in my opinion. And we have been working on delivering solutions. So just sort of going into the hydrogen space, just for people who have an idea but may not have sort of quantified it. There's a huge demand for hydrogen right now, and it's for industry, mostly chemical processing, oil refining, steel, all kinds of applications. And most of the hydrogen comes from gray hydrogen, which is steam reformed methane, and like 99.6%. But the market is growing really fast, and it's being driven by a realization that the climate initiatives in major markets around the world, major countries, major countries that have been sort of at the heart of the problem that has been created with carbon, have sort of fueled this demand to incorporate hydrogen into the ecosystem of energy. So anyway, the expectation is that, the current market for electrolyzers, which is the way to produce green hydrogen, and just for those who don't know, green hydrogen essentially means hydrogen that is produced essentially without any carbon production. You don't have any carbon as a byproduct of the process. And electrolyzers, or the electrochemical breakdown of water or dissociation water, is the easiest example of a green hydrogen, and that's what the focus is. Right now, the market is about 8 gigawatts worth of electrolyzers, which are the devices used to produce hydrogen by passing electricity and creating this electrochemical process to produce hydrogen and release oxygen. It's expected to grow to 240 gigawatt hours, and they use gigawatts or kilograms only because the amount of energy required to reform water. So anyway, applications that are looking for solutions.
Okay, I think we lost Asif.
I thought it was all going well.
And it's
So-
and it's not.
This is as if he's here, but he will reconnect.
I suppose so. But he stopped sharing his screen as well. I think it's an issue with connection on his side.
Such an interesting presentation. I was enjoying it. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. If hydrogen is something you're interested in, stick with us.
We got Asif,
Very
we got you back, but you have to. We've lost you for about, I think, 30-40 seconds.
Asif, if someone at home watching Netflix, you will need to ask them to stop because they're draining the battery.
It's 6 a.m., 6:50 a.m.
Okay, so that's not the case then.
Asif is on the west coast. Okay. All right. So if you want to
Let's
go
do it
back.
exactly like we did last time. Oh, I think he has a internet problem.
Someone is typing that they have same problem here, but it looks like
he had this problem and now he's
issue.
occurring.
Yeah.
But there was no issue when you were doing your technical.
No, you see, it was most of the session. It was okay.
Okay, guys, stick with us. Let's give Asif to reconnect.
Okay, we can see you again, Asif.
Okay,
Can you hear?
apologies. I don't know what happened.
Let's try sharing the screen once more.
Okay.
Okay, can you see it now?
Yep.
Yes, we can
Global
see.
hydrogen demand. You on that slide? Yep.
Okay, so let me just run through this quickly. Apologize. I don't know what happened with the connection, but we still have bandwidth problems where we live. Anyway, so I mean, the green hydrogen, sort of the landscape of hydrogen, is gray from the traditional reforming process of fossil fuels. And then, there's blue hydrogen, which is essentially the same thing, just capturing the carbon. And then there's ways of the electrolyzer market, which essentially go to the heart of the economics of how it's done. But, why does green hydrogen matter? I think that it's one of the things to remember is that it's not by itself going to impact decarbonization, but because integrating hydrogen into the economy is not as trivial as most people assume that it will be. It sounds like a really exciting solution, but there's so many different challenges: cost, economics, transportation, logistics. But just the mere fact of offsetting some of the reformed hydrogen by green hydrogen, the chemically reformed hydrogen like SMR, it produces about 900 million tons of CO2. So there's a huge amount of carbon offset that can be created by incorporating more green hydrogen. So it does really matter. So the solution that Waimana has developed is kind of technically you can consider it to be a breakthrough because it addresses some of the key barriers to hydrogen. It was from about $1 billion worth of research that was done at the Department of Energy in the different labs funded by the U.S. government, and most of that work is now coming to impact the hydrogen economy. There are other applications, but this is the most exciting application, and we've leveraged that research to develop solutions that can really change the fundamental economics and viability of green hydrogen. Now, the key aspect of electrolyzers, and we're going to run this thing through this. I was talking about the research. A lot of labs were involved. It's essentially a high pressure electrolyzers. Now, why does that matter? Because electrolyzers typically just produce hydrogen, and hydrogen is a very difficult chemical to deal with in terms of its ability to be transported and or stored, and that requires compression. The gravimetric and volumetric efficiencies are very low in terms of its density, its weight, its permeability. It poses a lot of challenges for integrating it into the economy. So if you produce hydrogen at pressure, it makes it a little easier in terms of not having to compress it, because compression is expensive. It's O&M intensive, and it impacts the overall logistics and viability of the whole ecosystem around hydrogen. So the Waimana hydrogen high pressure electrolyzer produces hydrogen at about 138 bar, which is a storage pressure that is viable for immediate storage or for transportation because of the tank cost. So we just done a little bit of an analysis that shows you a comparison with where the market is and what is achievable through this approach. So essentially, efficiency and cost are parameters that matter for electrolyzers. The amount of energy required to produce 1 kilogram of hydrogen is really the key metric that we're focusing on right now. The nature of the technology, the approach used is different in the Waimana implementation, which gives you a little bit lower efficiency. It's significant if you compare it in a larger context of hydrogen production. So the numbers may not look significant, like 41 to 43 kilowatt hours per kilogram versus 60 to 145, depending on where the current market is per kilowatt hour of kilogram. Now, the whole notion of green hydrogen is on the assumption that you can use cheap solar or wind energy. And if you make the assumption of 2.5 cents per kilowatt hour, you're talking about a $1 per kilogram range, which is the target that the holy grail that has been set for this, for hydrogen, green hydrogen. But even with that metric, you get to be at $1.60 to almost $4 with conventional efficiency metrics. But in a larger context, I'm just looking at just 500 kilograms a day of hydrogen. You need a 4 megawatt power plant, solar power plant, to provide enough energy to power that. Roughly 7.5 megawatt hours of power of energy, compared to 7 megawatts, based on some of the best electrolyzer technologies that are out there, which almost is significant because that includes the energy of compression, and that can range up to 28 megawatt hours megawatt of solar, which is really kind of was expensive. Now, the heritage of this product, it's technology. There's been a lot of testing done over the last 6-7 years. And you can see some of the numbers, and we'll upload this in terms of where we are with the work that has been done, producing about, from 0.2 to just 6 meter cube per hour, which translates into about 63 kilograms per hour of hydrogen. But they're all at about 138 bar and much higher efficiency, good quality, high purity. And you also produce pressurized oxygen, which has applications. We don't just release the hydrogen, we store it so it's available for compression. 138 bar number is significant in the sense that most applications are for pressurized applications. From forecourt, which is for distribution for mobility, transportation, to tube trailers and pipelines, there are different pressure ranges, but they all are pressure. So going from atmospheric to 13,000, the amount of energy is a ratio of the power of the pressure. So there's significant savings even at 138. Now the market is big, as we talked about. There's the traditional market, and then the growing mobility market is really key that everybody's focused on. But there's also near-term opportunities around the world for distributed hydrogen production, captive power, microgrids, off-grids. Long duration energy storage is a really kind of a new concept that centers around being able to store energy for seasonal shift of, say, solar or wind, where you need to store amounts of energy produced over a period of a season, for instance. There's just no way to do that in a battery. Hydrogen offers a credible solution for that path. And then traditional, we looked at the traditional markets, and power generation is key, mobility, and in terms of our development, we're looking at commercializing over the next 18 months, and we have our timeline to commercialization. Their details are here, and we're at technology readiness level at 6, but we are rapidly working on getting this to commercialization the middle of 2024, a year and a half or so from now. And we're expanding our book of sales even at this early stage. There's a lot of interest, and the market projections are essentially based on the pipeline of inquiries and prospects that we are looking at today. The market is shifting. It's still in a lot of flux. There's a lot of moving parts. Demand is still uncertain, but we're looking at traditional demand from industry that not factoring in the emerging needs for mobility, which is still taking shape. Policy is a big factor. But the biggest challenge in this space, I believe, is going to be transportation of hydrogen, which is a very sort of a tough nut to crack. And I think that there's a lot of smart people who have to start looking at that, and the government, in terms of where they put rebates and incentives. There has to be a way to solve the problem of transportation. We are looking at, obviously, the different strategies for of monetizing this potential, but that's that comes much later. But this is really an exciting space. We're excited about the impact that we can make in terms of bringing energy solutions that are viable, credible, and can have an impact around the world. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Asif. It was very, very informative and interesting presentation. And the solution that you have invented is also, should speed up this kind of new hydrogen era, I suppose, and reduce the cost, and then to help more projects to come into play. Because we got some messages in chat that countries like Egypt, they have eight projects coming up next year. we have in our portfolio a number of hydrogen projects. They're using traditional electrolyzers, so I'm sure they would benefit from implementing your solution as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned earlier with B Analytics, Waimana we also represent. As I said, we actually receive a lot of ventures, but 97% say, 98% probably say no. But Waimana is one of those that inspired us. We can definitely see incredible value added for the industry and real need in the market. So Waimana is fine, with helping Waimana to fundraise. So, and we actually, it's incredible, but there is a definitely solid interest for hydrogen. The people, we are 6 minutes over time and people definitely stuck around for your presentation. I apologize that you were kind of in the end and you were a little bit pinched for time because of the technical issues that we faced in the beginning. There was some time lost. I really appreciate you joining us, yes, and Asif, yes. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. We'll close. We'll start closing. We will share all the questions that have been shared. We will share with you so you can answer them offline, and we'll also share with everyone your presentation and of course recording. I already got like 30 emails, people requesting for recording of the presentation.
So regarding recording, it will come automatically to everyone who registered, and we'll send it to a wider audience. And for the we'll also share webinars, the presentations. But whoever is here, you can guys download it in the handout section.
Yes, so basically for those who joined us later, and I can see that our audience kind of filled and was quite a lot of people. I think people also plugging in for the presentation that find interest, they kind of would like to listen. So very quickly, for those who kind of were not here at the beginning, I want to remind and kind of reiterate that this is a series that are part of our Funding Accelerator program, created in support of green energy project developers. The qualifying criteria to participate in it, you need to have a utility scale green energy, waste to energy, hydrogen production and energy storage project. Needs to be initiated by professional team. And it definitely shouldn't be too early stage, right? It needs to be in advanced stages of development. If it's earlier stage, then your project will be basically guided and advised and incubated by our advisors, helping you to reach that stage, investable stage and bankable stage. So if you're a developer, do share your project with us. I think Amira and Vlad have shared our email addresses.
And also the link to the Funding Accelerator page where you can find more details and guiding criteria on what kind of projects we normally look at. Because as Oksana earlier mentioned, we receive a lot of ventures, but our focus mainly on project finance. So
yes,
we had something, venture capital is a little bit different game, but we selected a couple like Waimana, B Analytics that we promote, but 97% is mainly project finance, both equity and debt.
Yeah, it has to be project, utility scale project. Yeah. So I thank everyone stuck around. It's unbelievable. We're 10 minutes over time and people are still here. So I really thank for your generosity and your attention, for being us and for your time. And I look forward to be kind of in contact and connecting with you for our following webinars, which will be already after New Year and Christmas. One plan is that myself and our QPQ advisors, we will present how to actually all the steps of how to make your project investor ready. We will reveal that. We will reveal the strategies of how to make your project bankable and how to attract world-class funders and partners. We will announce the date closer to, I think already closer to the date. We normally announce it about 3 weeks prior. Next year. I wish you all very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, great celebrations. And I look forward to be connecting with you in the new year. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.